Welcome back. Earlier in the show, we brought you the news that Bill Belisle, the beloved hockey coach here in Rhode Island for over 4 decades, passed away. And I'm joined by one of his former players at Mount St. Charles, Dave Capuano. Dave, thank you so much for being here and joining us on the show.
Well, thanks for having me, and I'm sure that it's a sad day, but in all, celebrating his life is a wonderful thing.
And speaking of celebrating his life, for you, someone who played under him, what stands out most to you about your relationship? Maybe a moment, a memory?
Oh God, it's so hard, Taylor. There's so many to think back on. I mean, as we get older, our memories aren't great, but it's amazing how we do remember, so many things that he taught us. Work ethic and discipline and values, and I think for me, mostly it's all those things that he taught me for a life lesson. And I think a lot of his plays would just say the same thing. When those doors closed, there was a lot of life lessons that went on behind those doors. And, it didn't matter who wanted to come in that rink, whether it was a scout of a scout, whether it was a general manager of an NHL team, those doors were locked and you weren't coming in.
What do you think made him such a great coach?
Oh God, I think that the respect everybody had for him, the discipline that he had, the discipline that he taught us, and again, the respect we had for him. There was no nonsense. There was no nonsense, but there was some funny things. I was thinking back today to guys used to lean on their stick and their stick would break when they were shooting or they missed a pass, and he would look over at us. He says, it's not the stick, it's the dummy holding it. So there was as much as we all respected him, I mean, he was a really funny guy and just a great family guy, and just all in all just had so many great traits to him.
And not to mention the success that he had on the ice with 26 consecutive state titles. I mean, that is absolutely unbelievable. What was it like? Can you describe just working with him and what kind of made him special and unique as a coach?
Well, like I said, there was never any lack of respect for anything that he did, and he taught us about work ethic. When I think back about X's and O's, there wasn't a lot of that. It was hard work, it was discipline, it was commitment, and I think back to the games, and God, we couldn't wait to play a game because number one, we knew we were prepared, and number two, we knew it was a lot easier than practice.
And you went on to become an All-American at Maine, and then after that, you went on to play professionally. How much of your career do you attribute to your time at Mount St. Charles and your time with Coach Belisle?
Well, again, I don't think it's just hockey, Taylor. I think it's life. I think, the successes we've had in life, I think a lot of us, we can attribute to what he taught us. I mean, I'm fortunate to have a wonderful father, but I feel like I had almost two fathers with him, with what he taught at Mount St. Charles. And I think, as far as my hockey career goes, I think that he was so instrumental in me going on and being successful. But not only as a player, but even as a family person, as a father. That I think that goes back to a lot of us enjoying what the time we spent with him and what he taught all of us.
And a member of the USA Hockey Hall of Fame, but here in Rhode Island, a legend as well. For the state of Rhode Island, what did he mean?
Oh, I think he meant everything to this state. I think that, as much as, people wanted to beat him, I think, and people were, jealous of 26 in a row and Mount St. Charles always winning. I think that people had just such an amount of respect for him that, him and the whole Belisle family, and Dave too as well. Just a tremendous family, a tremendous people, and what they did for the kids. And it wasn't always easy. It was a lot of tough decisions on their part. I'm sure. I mean, I've coached over the years, and it's not easy coaching. It's not easy telling kids you're not playing. It's not easy telling kids you're not dressing. But I think every single person in that locker room, Bill Belisle knew he coached. And it wasn't just the superstars and the Brian Lawtons and the Brian Barads, and it was all the way down to the fourth line guys or the second goalies. I think he knew every single one of them, and I think every one of his players meant the same thing to him.
How would you put his legacy into words?
Oh, I mean, legend, GOAT. Um, I was thinking before, I mean, talk about like the GOAT. I think he's the true GOAT. I really do. What he accomplished in this state, how many kids' lives that he touched, I think is what he leaves as a legacy today. And just reading all the tweets out there from Twitter land, so many tweets on, he was a father figure. He was a better man than a coach. And I think that's what he would probably be most proud of right now. And hopefully he's, cracking open a Heineken and seeing everybody, what everybody's saying and about him and his family.
Dave, thank you so much for joining us. More of the Sports Wrap continues after this.